Hello everyone, welcome back for more of the Nintember Black Box Spectacular. So what you see here is Robot Block. It was known in this part of the world as Stack Up. And by the fact that it's called Robot something, you might be able to deduce, and I might be able to go on, you might be able to deduce that this was the second of two games released that used the robotic operating buddy, known as R.O.B. This is the game that tells me they never really had any plans for R.O.B. because there's no way this made it as a serious idea for a game. You'll see what I mean in a minute, but it stays on the screen forever. It never leaves until you hit a button. There is no attract mode. There is no demo. You have 5 things you can test and make sure flashing lights work. You can direct, you can memory, or you can play 1 or 2 player bingo. Hitting select only makes him jump to the next one. It does not make him go to from the bottom to the top or vice versa. And if you leave it here for 5-6 seconds without hitting a button, right back to here. To where you hear probably the most entertaining part of this game, the jaunty little theme tune. Okay. Because I don't fully remember all the controls, I am pulling up the manual. I'm going to make sure I can tell you what's going on in this because I never even saw this for sale. I didn't even know it existed except on the poster. It had the game Stack Up listed, but I never saw it anywhere. So here's the thing. Let's, I think I've got the screen low enough for this. Let's go ahead and move this down a bit. Let's show you what R.O.B looked like with this. This time you did not have to worry about motorized controls. You just had to worry about the batteries for R.O.B. So let's show you kind of what this looks like. If I can't get everything on screen at once, unless yeah, there we go. So you see R.O.B there, as instead of having the A and B buttons, he's directly connected to absolutely 0 controls. Absolutely no controls are actually directly attached to R.O.B. This game works on the honor system. Which, okay. But basically, you have R.O.B, you have the little circular trays that attach to them, and then a series of colored discs will get loaded up onto them. I don't know if they have a color picture in here at all. No, there is no color picture at all. But if you slow down, you can kind of see exactly what the game is asking of you. I mean, if you want to pause and take a look at the controls here, I am going to be just kind of going in. Okay, so let's see if I can actually show any of this off, because this is not a game. Test will just make sure that the R.O.B is actually doing something, and it just kind of flashes green at you. So here we have another epilepsy warning, because this game is going to flash a lot of green light at you. So please be very careful watching this if you are prone to epilepsy. I'm delaying because there's not really much to show off here, but direct. Phase 1. Okay. The bonus ticks away. And here's the epilepsy.
Right. Up.
You
Left.
control this, and you basically make R.O.B do what you actually have. You make him open. Open the arms. You make him close the arms.
Down. Up.
And the series of flashes that it puts out on the screen tells R.O.B where to go. Remember how I said this was on the honor system? Yeah. So what is going on here? It shows you where to start placing the blocks. It shows you this. In 5 colors: red, white, blue, yellow, green. And then it shows you exactly where you need them to be. And once you have it done, you hit start. And that's it. So if you look, and if you legitimately wanted to do this,
Open.
you would make him open. Let's say he starts on 3.
Right.
You would have him move over to 4.
Down. Down.
You would have him reach the far bottom 1. You'd have him go up. You would have him go right. You would have him go down. You would have him open, and then that would actually be done. So this makes you think a bit more. And if you recall, R.O.B only had a few places he could actually reach. He only had a few levels on the vertical axis. Yeah. Anyway. So that was part of the challenge, figuring out exactly where you could grip the blocks to break them up once you got into the more difficult puzzle. And of course, I didn't do anything, so we're back to the title screen. Memory. Basically, you are trying to control there we go. You're trying to pre-program in the same thing you were just doing there. So, I guess it's going to depend where he starts, huh? Make him open. Then we'll say he's on the middle. You need to go all the way down, which should be 2 hits. Then you need to close. Then you need to raise up. Then you need to go left. Then you need to go left. And I think he's just...
Open. Down.
And once again, all the flashy lights.
Close. Up. Left.
And this is about as fast as you needed to control R.O.B, because his arms could only move so fast. And then you hit start if it actually worked. Phase 2, same thing. See, I'm just slamming start. So you can see some of the patterns you get the blocks in. And it has no way to verify if you did any of this correctly. So you can just tell it you did everything perfectly. And get a lot of freaking points. So now we're back to the sun. Now we're restacking everything in one group. And then there's this that mixes things up just a little bit by making you take one block off the top and move it back over. But you'll notice that each puzzle does lead into the last one. So we start there, now we need to get this, and we're shuffling the blocks. You get the idea. There's a reason yesterday I said we are playing a quote-unquote game, question mark? Because it just, you're playing with the robot. The video game part of this is almost completely unnecessary. This one would get annoying, because you got to move the white block under the green. And now you got to completely shuffle everything around. So, once again, this is just the first game, except you're not doing it on the fly. You're programming and everything around. Let's look at bingo. This one. So, we're just going to kind of let things shout here. You got dudes sitting there messing up your patterns.
Close.
This is why it's called bingo, because to do any of these things, you need to actually hop on all 5 of them and get completely beaten if you touch any of the other things. And if you wanted to go right, that would be amazing. Oops. And if you wanted to go right, you would do this. So, you don't have an option to, you know, I mean, you can attempt to play defense all you want. If it's going to trigger something you really don't want, you have to play defense.
Right.
But let's get the professor hurt. I think you see what's going on just as well as I do, that this is just another way with a very annoying twist to it to get buttons pushed and to get the robot to move things around. So, yeah, there's, like I said, we're playing a game, question mark? And then you have the 2-player version, where we have to compete for blocks or work together. So let's go kick this guy. Come on, get rid of your iframes. You're not going to get rid of your iframes. But you only have so many minutes. You only have so much time to do everything. So yeah. So now, I hope you remember back to Gyromite when I said that R.O.B was, as far as I can tell, R.O.B was not a serious peripheral that they goodness, excuse me. R.O.B was not a serious peripheral that they actually intended to turn into something worth playing. They made a robot, they made 2 games for it, all to make parents think the Nintendo Entertainment System was not just a video game console, because video game consoles were kind of radioactive as a concept after the way the Atari 2600 destroyed the market with its flood of shovelware. So Nintendo, being Nintendo, tried to make their video game playing console look more like a real certified serious computer that just happened to play some games and keep the kids busy. And to do that, they made the robot. Once they get it in enough homes, they went, we can now ditch the robot, and we won't think about the robot ever again until we invent Smash Brothers and get a few iterations in. Then we will make R.O.B a playable character and laugh at everybody who likes it. Because that is how we get our start. Okay, I'm not sure about the laughing at the people who like R.O.B in Smash. What I can tell, it's a pretty versatile character there, but I don't play enough Smash to know. So yeah. Blah. I need to eat and drink something soon. But yeah, this has been Stack Up, also known as Robot Block. Boy, the thing, if R.O.B had not been a quick gimmick like this, there's potential in a little robotic buddy that you could use to play games with, which was how it was marketed. A little buddy to play games with. It just did not work out because Nintendo wasn't trying to make it work as a thing to have fun with, just to get consoles in homes. And it worked pretty brilliantly. So in that regard, it was a success. In every other regard, though, in terms of actually playing games or having fun, dismal freaking failure. As we watch the timer tick down to actually see what it does when it hits 0, because I've never really done that. Again, I never saw this game in stores, never saw it for sale, because not only did the stores it was trying to sell to have to have a game, they had to have a big enough shelf space for all the extra little attachments you'd put on R.O.B and all those little discs. So it demanded more shelf space, so big box stores, mostly Walmart and Target around these parts, maybe Kmart, wouldn't carry it because it was less product on the shelves. And they couldn't really justify a super high price for it. Time up. And indeed, this video's time is up. So, tomorrow, we come back to the most familiar game in the NES library. And it was one of the originals. So until then, take care, everyone. See you later.